few minutes away. We are just a few minutes away. Hopefully you can all hear me alright, see me alright. Hopefully the latency's not too bad and you're all up to speed. We're a couple of minutes away now from the draw actually starting. I imagine we're a little bit further away from finding out what's going on in League B, League C. But we will we'll stay up. We'll stay up and see what happens. If you are watching along, obviously thank you. And secondly, let me know if you can hear me okay. Things look alright on my end, so provided that it's alright for you, we're all good. Now we got up to 150 concurrent viewers on, when was it? It was the semi-final, I think, between Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea. We got up to 150. I'm not expecting to get anywhere near that number, so don't worry if at any point you find yourself as the only live viewer. We're a few moments away now. Not long. It's not going to be long. I worry that they're going to do League A first, which is fine. It just means I'll be awake for even longer. It's midnight here in the United Kingdom. Let me put something in the chat actually. So hopefully you can use that link if you want to watch the live draw. Let me just pin that for you. Thank you very much if you choose to watch this with me. You see my alarm clock? I don't think you can. It's currently saying 23:59 and we are moments away from the draw, the Concacaf Nations League Draw 2022-2023. A midnight start, I know. This is, thank you Ian for joining us again. Great to have you with us. Honestly, football that takes place west of the UK is tough, man. It is tough. I'm not off work tomorrow, so this isn't my job. I fucking wish it was, but it's not. I have to get up in 6.5 hours from now is when I awaken for my day. But nonetheless, that's why we're here, right? We're here because we love it. We love these Minnow Nation teams. If anyone's watching from that part of the world where it's just 7 PM for you, so there's literally no stress, do pop something in the chat. Hello to Random Discussion, great to have you with us. The Emerald Boys, thank you Ollie for joining. There it is, the Montserrat shirt. Ah, fantastic, great to have some viewers with us chatting through here. Let's go Canada, watching from Canada. What time is it in Canada? I suppose, you know, it's a stupid question, potentially, but I suppose it depends where you are in Canada, right? It's 7 PM in Miami, so I imagine you can be slightly earlier than that even. Unreal. Oh, it's 7 PM in Toronto as well. Oh, wow. I've never been to Canada, but it is on my bucket list 100%. I don't actually know anyone in the UK that wouldn't love to go to Canada. It's a weird thing. Toronto. Sorry, I'm just checking here. We've got Jessica in the chat. Plays for the under-15s El Salvador national team. Surely not. I assume that Liam is referring to Montserrat and their just utter desire to be knocked out of every competition by El Salvador. Let me just get the pics on my phone up just to remind everyone. We will do a live fan Zoom call, don't worry, we will do one at some point. Here we go, the draw has started. They're just doing the faffy bit. Thank you. I try and look well. So just a reminder, as they talk through what they're going to do on the draw and the teams involved and the nonsense behind it all, really, these things always take way too long. League A, we don't care about. We really don't care about. Unless you're from Canada, and of course you then care about Canada, right? I get that. But this channel... Oh yeah, I'm not surprised you're sick of El Salvador. Canada are in Pot A of Group A, League A even. You've got Mexico, USA, Canada, Costa Rica in that group. Then in Pot 2, Panama, Jamaica, El Salvador, Honduras. And then in Pot 3, Martinique, Curacao, Suriname and Granada. Which is actually quite passionate considering that it is League A, right? Because I think that Pot 2 and Pot 3 have got some real passion there. Canada, I love as a footballing nation. They're almost just too good for D&Q to really talk about. I mean, D&Q one day's got to be... We've got to try and make it a proper thing. So thank you, Random Discussion, for your support. Oh yeah, I would. Carl, yeah, great point there. I would absolutely love a Central American mainland group. They're still talking at the moment, unsurprisingly, about Concacaf and all the stuff to do with that. Granada are going to get clapped. Yeah, Granada probably will get clapped, to be honest, in League A, depending on the group. I don't know if there is a non-group of death, because like Canada in the World Cup qualifiers, to go from like round 1 all the way through, they're just showing how good they are. Mexico, USA and Costa Rica are all great sides as well. And then you've got Panama, Jamaica, El Salvador, Honduras are just the most... That's probably, for someone that's not from North America, it's probably the most underrated group of teams you'll find, actually. You know, Panama in particular is such a good side. Jamaica, El Salvador, Honduras as well. Great teams. And then Pot 3 is going to be really interesting because you've got Martinique, of course, not a FIFA registered nation. Curacao, Suriname, 2 good sides. And then Granada. Oh, yeah. Well, I would... Just responding to Carl's message there. Best British colony in Concacaf. It's a tough one. And best Concacaf kit is also a great question there from Ollie. Keep these questions coming to keep me through what is undoubtedly going to be another 5 minutes of drivel before they actually get to the draw. The best British colony in Concacaf is a really, really tough question. I think it's difficult. I think in terms of the minnow space, I do think that Montserrat is certainly one of the up-and-coming sides in terms of a kind of British overseas territory there. I do agree that I think some of the French teams are better. You know, Martinique, not a FIFA registered nation, but still, you know, French. You've got Haiti as well as part of that discussion. But I also think the Dutch colonies are something, you know, a force to be reckoned with, really. Because you've got, okay, Aruba right down there in the FIFA World Rankings, but you've got Curacao, you've got Suriname. They're just such good sides benefiting from that kind of Dutch affiliation. In terms of the best Concacaf kit, you might be looking at it right there. Excuse me, you might be looking at it. The bowl football kit for Montserrat might be the best kit in Concacaf. This absolute beauty might be the best kit. Look at the detail that bowl football have gone into with the emerald for the Emerald boys, the crest. It just all ties together so nicely. Small detailing on the back as well. This is where the number and the name goes. This could be up there for me, but I also like the away shirt, actually the red version of this as well, which is also fantastic. And up here as well, just to showcase what else we've got on display before they do the draw. I'm obviously wearing a Turks and Caicos Islands shirt. This is another Turks and Caicos Islands shirt and a Guyana shirt for the Golden Jaguars. So, yeah. I think Suriname will be a new force. I really do think that Suriname will be a new force. I think the Dutch sides are the sides going forward, to be honest. I expect to see a Dutch team get to the expanded World Cup, and that's a huge, huge statement to make. Just putting something in the main Concacaf video so that people know to come here to actually watch it. Where do I buy the kits? Well, there's a few different ones. So classicfootballshirts.co.uk is the main one where I get kits from. Here in the UK, not sure what they can do abroad, but worth checking out. And actually, the Turks and Caicos Islands one I had to have specially made. Yeah. I quite like, you know, it's interesting with kits, really. I love the Minnow Nation kits. When they are smart and nice, you know, when they are tidy. I think sometimes they can be a little bit too extravagant. I just had a message from the Emerald Boys fan club talking about the pot that they're in, the teams that they're in there with. And that's reminded me that I need to get onto that now for Leagues B and C. Liam, mate, what are you doing? Get on that ball football shirt hype. Absolutely got to get one. You can get that one or the red one. Both are unbelievably nice. Unbelievably nice. Right. League B pots. There's 4 pots, each with 4 teams. Yeah, I will try and turn up the volume if I can. I'll just try and speak louder. That might be the best way. I'll move the mic closer to where I am, as you can see. And make sure that I speak nice and clearly for you all. I'm probably subconsciously speaking quieter because it is literally midnight here. So if you can hear me all right, just let me know. Make sure that it's coming through all right. So in League B, the pots. Pot 1, Haiti, Guatemala, Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba, French Guiana, Guadeloupe, Nicaragua, Bermuda, that's pot 2. Pot 3 is Antigua and Barbuda, Guyana, Dominican Republic, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And pot 4, Belize, Montserrat, Barbados, Bahamas. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that one shapes up. I think in that one you've got a huge bunch of teams that are really going to be vying for to progress further in the expanded World Cup. You know, League B, this is where particularly sides like Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago and Cuba are going to be pushing for the expanded slots there. Maybe as you kind of go further down the list and you've got sides like the Bahamas and Belize, you know, they'll just want to compete. They'll just want to continue to compete at that level. I think Belize are a good side. They're certainly defensively solid. I'm actually just watching a goal go in there from Belize. That was Dion McCauley as they're doing their little review of everything that happened at the last Nations League, the first Nations League as it was in 2019. And it was a good tournament. It was a good tournament. League C is where you get the real minnows. There's again 3 pots this time. Same as League A, but there is one additional team that goes into pot 3. You can obviously see all of this on my kind of preview video that I did. Pot 1, there's some good sides in pot 1. You've got St. Kitts and Nevis. Really surprised that they're in League C. Fully expect them to get promoted. Puerto Rico, Bonaire and St. Lucia. Pot 2, Dominica, Aruba, the Cayman Islands and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Pot 3, Saint Martin, Sint Maarten, USVI, Anguilla and the British Virgin Islands. So we will wait and see. We will really wait and see what League C has to offer. That's certainly what I'm most excited for. I imagine that they're going to do that last, which is going to be great. Oh well, good question. Yeah, I think that the 2026 World Cup qualifiers will be amazing. You know, out in the US and Canada and Mexico, I think it'll be a brilliant tournament. Are D&Q going to make it to the Nations League? Well, we're not going to make it certainly in June when the competition starts, but the final rounds of fixtures take place in March 2023, so we'll wait and see. Never say never to that one. Who knows where we'll be by then. With all your support, all the support of the fantastic D&Q community, who knows where we'll be by then. World Cup every 3 years with 64 teams. Oh my goodness. Wow, that would be intense is what that would be. Absolutely. And yeah, I totally agree. A mini World Cup for the weaker teams would be incredible to see, wouldn't it? You know, comparing all these sides from all over the world would be absolutely phenomenal. We'll have to rely on video games for the time being. I can't believe how long they dawdle with these things. If you are joining, thank you so much for joining and spending your evening listening to me talking about the Nations League, the Concacaf Nations League. Carl is Mexican. Fantastic to have you with us. Good side, Mexico. Very good side. I'm sure hoping to go all the way and win this Nations League tournament. So yeah, Group A is where you get your sides that then progress through to, you know, the Nations League finals, as they're called. It'll be the big teams. In League A, it'll be the teams in Pot A, it'll be those ones. You know, the main thing for the smaller nations, the minnow nations, is that chance for Gold Cup qualification. That's really what everyone's looking for. Yeah, Hong Kong but lives in Canada. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. But yeah. I don't know why the link to the draw doesn't work, to be honest. It should do. If not, you can just open up a separate YouTube tab and type in Concacaf Nations League Draw and you should be able to find it. They are currently just chatting. Just chatting. They probably don't expect people from the other side of the Atlantic to have stayed up until what is now 12:15 to 12:15 midnight. That is to watch the draw. And thank you to our good friends at News of Oceania Football for supporting the channel. For any Oceania football fans, that is the channel for you. The D&Q Asia Pacific correspondent. I love that. Absolutely love that. Well, we need to speak about Hong Kong at some point, don't we? And Asian football for sure. We're looking into that fan Zoom thing, how the best way we'd run it would be. But it is something we are going to do at some point. I love the Nations League. I really think it's a great tournament. I wish that they would just draw the groups. But it is a good tournament. Oh, come on. Is there, how much of a kind of Hong Kong, how big is football in Hong Kong? We've got to be close now to the draw starting. Well, I think we're moderately close. Presented by Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways. Oh, here we go. We're just running through the format. So League A, 4 groups of 3. League B, 4 groups of 4. And League C is 4 groups. One of them's got 4 teams. The rest have got 3. Group A will have 4 teams. That is in League C only. They're just talking about the relegation and promotion, things like that. Yeah, I knew a little bit about the Hong Kong national football team a little while ago. Not really clued up on it now. So, yeah, they're just running through the dates for this. So there's a double match day in June, and then the final games in March 23 that then go into the finals in June 2023. And it's the 4 group winners from League A that will go into those finals in June 2023. Not that we care about that, but here we go. We're talking about the Gold Cup now. So it'll be the top 2 sides from League A, the top side from Group B, and there will also be qualification opportunities for the 3rd place sides in Group A, the 2nd place sides in Group B, and the winners of Group C. So there's plenty of chances for those minnow nations to get a spot in the Gold Cup, which would be huge. I know, I just think it's disrespectful to do a draw, just do it at lunchtime and then everyone around the world can see it. So there we go. It should, yeah, that draw link should work. Apologies if there's any issues with that, but you're just going to have to stay and tune in with me. What can you do? What can you do? It won't be long now until they start drawing the groups. Who are you supporting? Who are you looking out for? The new DNQ studio will be coming soon. We will be in the new gaff, which is house, in just a matter of days, hopefully. You could start a channel on Asian Champions League. I think it's a tournament that's not spoken about enough, for sure. But yeah, so no, there will be a new DNQ studio. You won't have to be looking at this anymore, which I'm sure you're very much looking forward to. But yeah, so playing around with the best way to have it set up. But it will be nice to not be in here and to be in kind of a better position. Oh, now they're going through how all the pots have been drawn. Just draw the groups, man. It's good that there's subtitles in Spanish. You're unfortunately not going to get that here because I don't speak Spanish, which is, my own thing. So yeah, all the teams from pot 1 will obviously be drawn first and will go into the 1st place in the groups, and then pot 2 to the 2nd place, pot 3 to the 3rd place, etc. They go through it every time, almost to a hilarious extent. Everyone's seen enough of these draws now to roughly understand how it works. Oh, I will just have a study, or an office space, which is where the DNQ studio will be, if we can call it that. If you are joining, where in the world are you watching from? And who are you supporting? Is it the Turks and Caicos Islands? Is it another minnow nation? Or are you a fan of one of the big boys? The draw can't take long. I know there's 40 teams, right? But they can't take long to go through the groups. Maybe I'll be in bed by 2. No, yes, it will be my house. Almost nobody are going to see the draw on TV for this tournament. Yeah, I know. It's really weird sometimes. I think about like where you can and can't watch these games. It's bizarre. The OFC. I don't know how blocked it was around the world, but in the UK we could watch all the OFC games from the World Cup qualifiers, and that was amazing. It was brilliant to be able to see those things. I don't know why in a world with everything going on. Oh, Leverock is there, the former Bermudan player. I don't know why in a world where we want to join everything together, why they don't kind of show these things more broadly around the world. I don't know. I suppose I can't say I'm a USA fan. Obviously, I'm from England. I'm a Turks and Caicos Islands fan. And I suppose I can't say I'm a USA fan because USA are in the same World Cup group as England. So, yeah, I think it was 11 Sports that did the OFC stuff. I think it was. It's cool to have a Bermudan there doing the draw or helping out with the draw. Pots 1, 2 and 3. I think that they are ready to go, finally ready to go with League A. Which will be good. Which will be good. They're getting there. They are getting there. The longest bit is just talking through... No, the draw's not even started yet. The draw has not even started yet. Oh, League C. Are we doing League C first? It would be amazing if they do League C first. They're showing League C on the screen. Logically, from a television point of view, they should do League C first because otherwise all the people from the USA will stop watching as soon as League A is done. So, hopefully, they do League C first. That would make sense because they have got Lever Rock on. Yes, it is. League C, Group A. First team drawn is Bonaire. Bonaire will take pride of place in Group A. They are joined... No, they're not. They're sticking in pot 1. And they are looking now for the first team in Group B. St Kitts and Nevis take their place in Group B. The group really you'd want to avoid now, based solely on that. Hopefully I'm not too far lagging behind. Just seen Jonathan put in the chat Bonaire. Hopefully I've already said that. St Lucia are in Group C for this one. Meaning that Puerto Rico lead Group D. So Bonaire, St Kitts and Nevis, St Lucia and Puerto Rico. We knew it was going to be those, but this is where it gets a bit more interesting. Who is going to be playing who? Who from pot 2 is in Group A? Is it Dominica, Aruba, Cayman Islands or the Turks and Caicos Islands? It's the Turks and Caicos Islands. We're in a group with 4 teams. We get 6 games. It's absolutely massive for the Turks and Caicos Islands. We are in Group A. That is absolutely massive, massive for us. More games. That's so brilliant. That's fantastic. Aruba are in Group B with St Kitts. Wow, that's a tough group. That is the group of death for whoever gets that in pot 3. Cool. Cool. Hopefully there's minor lag then. It's Dominica who are in Group C, in League C, along with St Lucia. It's a St Lucia Dominica Group C, meaning that the Cayman Islands join Puerto Rico in Group D. But the Turks and Caicos Islands being in Group A with 2 pot 3 teams and Bonaire and having 6 games, that is massive. The first team from pot 3 to join them in Group A is the US Virgin Islands. Bonaire, Turks and Caicos Islands, US Virgin Islands is Group A. Now I imagine that they will go round to Group B before they pick A4 as is. I will confirm that once the team comes out. Saint Martin or Saint Martin. They are in Group B. Yes, that is correct. Group B is now complete. St Kitts and Nevis, Aruba, St Martin. The French St Martin, rather than, I believe it's the Dutch St Martin. Anguilla, they're in Group C with St Lucia and Dominica. Oh my God, it could be. Oh, I thought for a second that the British Virgin Islands were going to be in TCA's group. They're not. They are in the same group as the Cayman Islands and Puerto Rico. Group D is complete. Puerto Rico, Cayman Islands and the British Virgin Islands. Meaning the final team out in League C going into Group A, along with Bonaire, the Turks and Caicos Islands, the US Virgin Islands, is Dutch St Martin. The groups are complete. Bonaire, TCA, US Virgin Islands, St Martin. That's Group A. Group B, St Kitts and Nevis, Aruba, St Martin, French St Martin. Group C, St Lucia, Dominica, Anguilla. And Group D, Puerto Rico, Cayman Islands and British Virgin Islands. I think the toughest group there for me is Group B. I think if you're one of the real minnows, Cayman Islands and VGB will be looking at that thinking we can give each other a game. I like Group C, don't know much about it, but I like it. And Group A, obviously, I'm buzzing with more games. And of course, Turks and Caicos Islands had Dutch St Martin in their group before. Yeah, there's got to be a reaction. It's got to be a reaction video and an in-depth analysis of this. And we go on to League B. BVI just searching for all those wins. It's huge. It's huge for these sides. Now, we're going to kind of change our tack a little bit, and the focus from now on is really on those minnows in League B. And who are they bringing out for this one? One chop, I believe. It's funny, Anguilla have played lots of games recently. I got to see them, and Ryan got to see them as well when they were in the UK playing some games. I got to see them play Windsor, and then Ryan watched them play the British Virgin Islands in that friendly. They're not looking too bad. They're not looking too bad. So El Salvador will be in League A, which will be right at the end. And yes, the video will remain on after the stream if you want to go to bed. Actually, you won't because it's only 7 PM in Toronto. You can watch it. There is a link in the pinned comment. And yeah, okay, Anguilla lost 13-0 to Panama, but who doesn't, right? Who doesn't? This is why we love Minnow Nation football. A draw is a great result. Oh, did they? Yeah, not sure about why you can't watch it. A few people have said they've had problems with that. Unfortunately, it means you're going to have to stay here and listen to me. Yeah, we're well in. League C is done. With some great groups. Some great groups. And now we move on to League B. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree that Group A of League C, which has got Bonaire, Turks and Caicos Islands, Dutch St Martin and US Virgin Islands, is the weakest. I think it is the weakest across the board, and I think that's good. You know, as a Turks and Caicos Islands fan, that's really important. I think that they can compete with. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think St Kitts, Dominica, Puerto Rico. You do see those as the strong favourites. Not sure what Bonaire will bring. I'm excited by it, so I think it's a good chance for the Turks and Caicos Islands. League B, Group A. Remember, there's 4 teams in each group. We've got Pot 1 teams coming now. Haiti, Guatemala, Trinidad and Cuba. And it's Cuba who take A1. Mexico's group will be at the end of this when they do League A. They're going from League C up. This will be the longest draw because you've got the most teams with 16 teams in League B. Who will make up B1? It will be the Haitians, a good side on the up. As I think you can say for all of these sides actually in Pot 1. So Guatemala and Trinidad and Tobago, the 2 sides left to be drawn. I think Montserrat will look to avoid Trinidad if they can, following their last Super Bowl game, which didn't go so well in the last Gold Cup qualifiers. Trinidad and Tobago take place C1, meaning Guatemala take D1. Doesn't really get exciting until you're at least into Pot 2, I don't think. Thank you to everyone who has joined us throughout this video as a random little watch along for a Concacaf Nations League draw. Just catching up with the comments quickly. Concacaf Leagues or Champions League. We don't really do domestic football, it's just international stuff mainly. We might touch on things in reference to internationals, but when it's outside of international calendar, we just do other stuff like our interviews and things like that. And we've got some really cool interviews coming up as well. So definitely hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a lover of Minnow Nation football. Oh, Group A is getting interesting. A2 has just been drawn and it's Guadeloupe. Cuba and Guadeloupe making up Group A so far. Guadeloupe, last time we were in the same groups as the Turks and Caicos Islands and beat them 10-0 in one game. So of course they got promoted to League B and found themselves in Pot 2 due to their quality. Group B, Haiti and Bermuda. Wow. Now that will be an exciting group for sure. They're both looking strong at the moment. I'm really not sure. I'm not sure who you'd want. Nicaragua. Oh wow, Trinidad and Tobago and Nicaragua. Meaning, is it French Guiana? Yeah, French Guiana go in with Guatemala in Group D. I don't think any of these groups have shaped up nicely. I don't know how they could, to be fair. I don't know what combination of Pot 1 and Pot 2 would have been nice. Yeah, Haiti, Bermuda, yeah. Absolutely. When Haiti did so well. Cuba, Guadeloupe, who will they be joined by? Antigua and Barbuda in Group A. So it's Cuba, Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda in Group A. Yeah, we'd love to have the time to cover the niche football leagues. That's why you've got to subscribe. So that one day this can actually become a full-time thing. That would be the dream. In Group B, joining Haiti and Bermuda is Guyana. The Golden Jaguars. There they are. Wow. 2 teams left, Dominican Republic and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think St. Vincent are beatable. And they are the side that come out. They're in Group C. I'm not sure what the best is for Montserrat at this point. I think there's potential in Group C and Group A. You wouldn't want to be in Group B. That's what I'd say for certain. You've got Haiti, Bermuda, Guyana, Sam Cox and Neil Dans back in the Guyana squad with a vengeance. They drew with Trinidad, of course, recently. So you wouldn't want to come up against them. You would not want to be facing Guyana at the moment, not with the quality of their squad. And Group D, Guatemala, French Guiana and Dominican Republic. And now Pot 4, this is where it gets interesting. Who joins the Group A sides? It's Barbados. Cuba, Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados. Who is in Group B? Looking like a group of death. Oh, it's Montserrat. Oh, wow, that is a tough group for Montserrat. Montserrat draw Haiti, Bermuda and Guyana. Oh, that is a horror group. Group B is a horror group. Group C, joining Trinidad, Nicaragua and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will either be Bahamas or Belize. And it is the Bahamas. I think everyone who secretly supports Montserrat is gutted at that draw. That is so hard. So hard. That is probably... Yeah. Yes, this is League B at the moment. But we've just finished. So the final team is drawn. So Guatemala, French Guiana, Dominican Republic, and Belize is Group D. Poor old Belize in that group by the looks of things. It couldn't get much tougher actually for Montserrat. I think the only way you'd say it would be tougher is if maybe a Guadeloupe was in instead of Bermuda. But Haiti, Bermuda, Guyana, Montserrat. Group A, Cuba, Guadeloupe, Antigua, Barbuda and Barbados. Group C, Trinidad, Nicaragua, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Bahamas. And Group D, Guatemala, French Guiana, Dominican Republic and Belize. Montserrat will have to earn it. You're absolutely right. They're a good side. It's going to be a really, really competitive Group B. That's for sure. That is one hell of a Group B. It is time for Montserrat to prove themselves. You're absolutely right. Those are interesting groups. Those are interesting groups. You've got to remember the winner of those groups is in the Gold Cup. The winner is in the Gold Cup. Don't forget, in Montserrat's group, Guyana, they've recently been there. Haiti, recently been there. Tough. Tough, tough, tough. And now we move on to the final league, League A. It'll be interesting to see who Montserrat get, you know, in terms of their squad. They have got good players. Let's not forget they've got good players. Championship striker in Lyle Taylor. So we'll wait and see. But it's a tough group. And we move on to, yeah, they do. And Marshall Willock as well. And we move on to the final league, as it is. Thanks for joining us, Ols. I think that Haiti will be the toughest side in that group. They're a great team. I think that I may be asleep before 1, which would be great. We're going into the final league now with the big boys. We've got to do it because otherwise it wouldn't be fair, right? I don't massively care about these groups. Granada is in Ligue A, yeah. Narzon's certainly one of their best players for sure. They've got a lot of players in the French leagues. Yeah, Granada are in pot 3 of Ligue A. So the first 2 pots are the sides. Yeah, I know. They're a bit of a weird one to be in there, to be honest, but it's just because of the previous Nations League. Pots 1 and 2 are just the octagonal that you get in US, so they're just the big 8 teams. And then pot 3 is where it gets exciting. You've got Martinique, Curacao, obviously Grenada, and Suriname as well. So pot 1, Mexico, USA, Canada, Costa Rica. Pot 2 is Panama, Jamaica, El Salvador, Honduras. And pot 3 is Martinique, Curacao, Suriname, Grenada. So one thing that will make it exciting, though, is actually, if you come third in League A, which will probably be, will probably be the top 3 teams. I don't mean that disrespectfully to them, but it probably will be. Mexico drawn first, A1. Then the teams that come third in League A will go against the winners of Group C and the runners-up in Group B for that Gold Cup place. And I think there's still some passionalities in there. Costa Rica, B1. So USA and Canada still to be drawn. And it is... Oh, fumbling. Granada. Canada is a brilliant country name to say in a Spanish accent. Yeah, I think it's difficult sometimes for kind of the big teams. I don't think they go full strength maybe till the finals. And hopefully that gives a chance for the teams in pot 3 to kind of cause an upset. And the United States of America take Group D. Also, it's kind of great having the Nations League now, but it's weird because obviously you've got Qatar 2022 not that far away. So will the big sides, will the USA, Canada, Costa Rica and Mexico risk their players, their main squad? It'll be interesting to see. I probably wouldn't, to be honest. No disrespect to the tournament. Mexico are joined by Jamaica in Group A. Mexico and Jamaica. I like that. See, I think there's more of a chance for Jamaica, Panama, El Salvador and Honduras to top this group because, will these sides risk their players ahead of the World Cup? It's Panama that join Costa Rica. Yeah, they're not. Unfortunately, it's Panama. Yeah, Jamaica won't go in the World Cup. We do need a Nations League in Asia and Oceania for sure. Honduras are in Group C, meaning El Salvador join the USA in Group D. El Salvador are in Group D with the United States of America. They are a good side, El Salvador. They are a really good side. I like them. If you're from Montserrat, you don't like them because you keep getting knocked out by them. So thankfully you've avoided them. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is pot 3. Who is joining Mexico and Jamaica? It is Suriname. Suriname join Mexico and Jamaica. Really, in Group D, if you're El Salvador and you want to get to the Gold Cup, you want Granada. If you're Granada, you want Group B, I'd say, with Costa Rica and Panama. But you've not got it. Martinique are in Group B. Costa Rica, Panama, Martinique is an incredibly passionate group considering it's League A. That is so tough for Suriname, yeah. Yeah, Jamaica were a bit disappointing in these World Cup qualifiers. Curacao are in Group C, meaning Granada are in Group D. So El Salvador, certainly a big chance to get to the Gold Cup because Granada is their competition. Provided that the USA are full strength. I'd love it if Martinique won that group. It will be interesting, won't it? This will be a real benchmark, I think, for Martinique. And I think it will for, is it Guadeloupe as well, who aren't a FIFA registered side? You know, these strong French sides. So the groups then. Group A is Mexico, Jamaica, Suriname. Group B, Costa Rica, Panama, Martinique. Group C, Canada, Honduras, Curacao. And Group D is the USA, El Salvador and Grenada. No, Martinique are not a FIFA registered side, but they are a Concacaf side, so they can compete in all competitions. Similar to if there were to be an Oceania Nations League, you would have Kiribati, you would have Tuvalu, you would have Micronesia and sides like that aren't part of the Confederation. Well, actually you wouldn't because they're not part of the Confederation, but theoretically you could have them because it wouldn't be a FIFA tournament. You know, the Concacaf Nations League and the UEFA Nations League, they're not really FIFA tournaments. They fit into the FIFA football calendar, but sides like Martinique and Guadeloupe can compete. And I think we do need the other sides from OFC to be part of that confederation now, don't we? You know, to strengthen it a little bit. I know it's tough and I know they don't necessarily have the funding, but we need OFC to go up a level in that regard. It's definitely bedtime for me. It's 10 to 1 in the morning. Kiribati, is it? That's cool. I didn't know that. There you go. That concludes it for me. Thank you to everyone who has joined. Thank you to everyone who stayed up if you joined from the UK. This video is freely available. Yes, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the OFC country that begins with N, because that is one of the hardest regions to pronounce the names of the countries. That is all for me. Thanks so much for joining D&Q Football. Yes, Zoom calls and things and fan calls inbound. We've got interviews inbound. We've got players from this region who are going to come and speak to us from all levels. And we can't wait for it. We cannot wait for it. Thank you so much for joining as ever. I'm off to bed. Absolutely. I've had too much coffee, but we go again. Have a good one all, and I will see you next time.